Welcome back. In this lesson, we're going to learn how to fold the basic duck. To get started, you're going to need a square of paper. So if you're in class, you'll take one of the 60-pound pieces of paper and you'll need to turn it into a square. So you'll start with this top side and fold it down to meet up with that outside edge. So I like to tell kids to fold down a triangle and then roll that triangle over to the edge of the paper until this side here is parallel. Okay? Then take your bone folder and crease your paper towards the center to get your butterfly wings and crease along that diagonal line. Once you get that crease, you want to cut the bottom piece off. So cut that bottom piece and set it aside. You can use it later to make some smaller basic ducks so that your big duck has little babies or some other kind of origami assignment. Now, once you've got that, the directions say to open it back up and flip the paper over. So you can notice I changed to color paper so you could see both sides. So this crease here is now a mountain fold. Now we're going to make the kite base. And the kite base starts by taking this outside edge and folding it in towards the center line like this. Okay, and this will make a right triangle. Okay, be careful not to go over that center line. You want it as close as possible without going over. Then take the other side here and fold it towards the center so that you're doing the same thing on both sides, making your model symmetrical. This here is called the kite base. Once you have the kite base finished, you're going to take this point here and fold it back just past this line, about that far. Then you're going to crease it. You don't need to use your bone folder. You can just gently push your hands down like that because we're going to use that fold as a pivot point in just a minute. Then take this tip here and fold it back so it lines directly up with this line here. And this is another valley fold. Now, since we've made two valley folds, one here and one here, we've actually made a pleat fold. And you can see that zigzag line here. That's the signifier of a pleat fold. Okay? Now, the directions say to flip the model over like this and bend it that way, which they call in the directions a valley fold. And you'll have your model looking something like this. Then you need to do what's called a pivot fold. You're going to hold the bottom part of the model and you're going to grab this piece of paper here, right underneath here, and you're going to actually lift this piece of paper up. And you can see how that piece of paper moves back and forth. You want to pull that neck up so that it's about like that. And you can decide what you want it to look like. And then whenever you get that neck to be wherever you want, you're going to just gently squeeze that area and recrease it with your fingers. If you want to set it down on the table and recrease it with your bone folder, that's fine too. Then you're going to do the same thing with the head, another pivot fold. You're going to grab the head and just, now I'm grabbing the neck with my right hand, and with my left hand I'm going to pull that head up. You can leave it down a little bit, you can pull it up higher, down low, however you want. The directions say to make the head parallel with the body here, but you can choose however far you would like to bend that. So our model's looking like that now. Okay, now we're going to make a crimp fold here for the beak, and you can see with this first model here, you can see how this beak is shaped in, and if I turn this model upside down, you can see that crimp fold right there in the beak. Okay, so the directions walk us through it by saying take this point here and fold it all the way to the back of the head like this. Okay, and then crease it. And crease that one good and strong with your bone folder. Then take this corner here and fold it back out. So you're doing those two valley folds. One valley fold first, the next valley fold again, and however far you have this point come out will be how far your little bill of the duck comes out. So I'm going to crease that again, and I'm going to hold it up for the camera so you can see that crimp fold. Or sorry, yeah, crimp fold. Now I'm going to put it inside and that will make it into an inside crimp fold. So I'm going to turn the model up like this so you can kind of see it better. And I'm going to pull this beak out, and you can see that zigzag. I'm going to open up this side of the head and open that whole piece. Now I'm going to fold it back right along that first line and reverse it in and just pinch that side so it stays. Then I'm going to grab that beak and fold it back out so that it's right along that center line. And when I fold it back down, it should look something like this. Now, if for whatever reason your crimp got a little cockeyed or wonky, you can just kind of gently refold it so that it's placed or positioned in the right place. Okay? And depending on how you want this, you can actually pivot the beak down a little bit, or you can pivot the beak up a little bit, depending on your skill level. Okay? So there is the little beak. Now, the last part is another inside crimp fold. And the last inside crimp fold is here on the tail. We want to take this tail and tuck it inside of the model like that. So it's an inside crimp fold. So first, let's make the pleats. We're going to take this corner and fold it down so that it matches right in this other space here. And crease that really nicely. Now you're going to take this corner again, and while you hold this piece down, pull this corner up. And depending on which direction you pull it or how far you pull it, your tail will be either sticking out more or sticking out less. I'm going to pull it up all the way, kind of like that, so we have a high tail. And I'm going to gently press it down and then crease it a little harder with my bone folder. Okay, now we're going to tuck that piece inside. So we're going to have to unfold it all the way, and you can see those two creases there. Now I'm going to open the model all the way up, and I'm going to fold this whole piece from here and there all the way inside. I'm going to tuck it all the way inside, all the way back up to that point. Like so. Now it's all hiding inside. Now I'm going to pull the last, or this tip, back out while I hold with my index finger on the inside. I'm going to pull this tip back out. And there we have the little tail for our basic duck. Okay? So that is how you fold the basic duck. It's an introduction to the kite base and an introduction to the inside and outside, or sorry, just the inside crimp folds.